Guys, Copper Cutlass here. It's Sunday. We spent all day Saturday at the drag strip, local track, Byron Dragway. We were there for their BOP race, Buick Pontiac. Got there, car ran bad. I mean, bad. Spitting, popping, breaking up. I thought something was hurt. And considering the fact that I'd taken out the car on Thursday night for a little bit of a shakedown run in the industrial area, I thought it was a sealed deal, right? Well, the one only different thing I did between when I ran it on the street on Thursday night and Saturday morning was I ran it with the exhaust on the street. So at the track, I uncorked the cutouts, and I ran it like that from the get-go. And after my first pass, I was thinking, I'm brainstorming, and I'm like, hey, it seems to be a fuel issue. I'm like, well, if it's leaning out, the exhaust system should create enough back pressure to fatten it up. So I put the caps back on the cutouts, made a run. Car ran great, but it slowed down. We ran a 12:38 at 108 through the exhaust, which isn't bad. That's actually pretty good through the exhaust. 12:38 at 108. But it severely slowed the car down. So we went back, and that was pass number 2. The first one was like a 13.1 at 68 miles an hour. It was pathetic. For my car, at least. Not if you got a 13-second car, just for my setup. So we went back, and I decided to go up 4 jet sizes. Not 2, 4. Reason being is that I kind of felt like if the exhaust made that much of a difference, and I really am on the ragged edge between the car being that lean with the exhaust open, then you know what, going 2 jet sizes isn't going to do it justice. I decided to just go 4 up, front and rear, on the primaries and secondaries. As soon as we did that, third pass was a 12:04. I'm like, cool, we got the car back to normal. Car ran a 12:04. I made 2 other runs to kind of see what the car would run. So I ran a 12:04, a 12:03, and an 11:99. Pretty close. Last pass of the day, I decided to add some jet size to the primary. So I went from I think I had a 79 in there, I went to an 81. So I got 81s in the front and like 90, I got 90s in the rear. So considerable amount of jet, considering the carburetor came with a lot smaller jets from Holley. So I think I may need a bigger carburetor. But after that jet change on the primary side, we went up 2 jet sizes. Car ran an 1191, back to kind of where it was. Best pass so far has been an 1189. Right now, 1191. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be my last time out at the track this year. There's other things I need to focus on. Not that I won't be doing anything car related, just going to the track takes a lot out of you. It takes time, money, effort. You're pretty much killing a good chunk of your weekend around going to the track. And I love it and I enjoy it. My wife enjoys it, but it's just, there's some things that we got to prioritize. And I've been able to go out and put the car in the 11s at least and be able to say, you know what, we've been able to back up our 1189. And so on that end, yeah, this is our last time out, but at least, the car ran good. Everything stayed together. And I'm going to follow it up later, but there is a little special side project we're going to end up doing. And since I'm going to be doing some work to the Pontiac, as I've mentioned in other videos, and we're going to be building that big block, I got a cool idea with the Cutlass, but I don't want to talk about that until I actually start it, because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So yeah, guys, when it rains, it pours. Saturday morning, I roll into the track. Car ran like crap first pass. It took me a couple passes to get it squared away back to kind of where it's supposed to be. And then we wake up Sunday morning, and it's raining. And then I go for a morning bathroom break, and I come back, and one of my trailer tires is flat. So luckily, I called a friend of mine, and he came by with a spare tire, and we swapped. We went to a local shop, swapped it out, and now it's back on the road. And it just means that we had to sit in the rain for a little bit longer. My wife stood guard at the track. Me and my buddy went out and got the tire taken care of. And but yeah, some of the struggles that as sportman racers, tuners, whatever you want to call people like me. I'm not much of a racer. I'm not very competitive in that aspect. I just enjoy putting my work to the test and being able to say, I did this, and that's what I can do. Some of the struggles that you come across, and it's a borrowed trailer. I don't own the car hauler. And when things go wrong, I gotta fix it. And I had a tire that went flat, just an older tire, but we'll take care of it. It's got to get a new tire put on it. Took care of it, and ultimately, it's nice to be able to say, we go to the track and have fun, but there's a lot of work involved. And another reason why I think ending our season this early on, usually we've gone out all the way up until November, but we got other things we need to take care of. And at least this time at the track, we went out, we made a bunch of clean passes finally at Byron. Car hooked well. We added a 1.5 degree of pinion angle during the week. And then I took care of the carburetor, so the carburetor's working good, suspension's working good. If anything, we'll be ready for next season, and I don't plan on doing anything to my car over the winter. It's working good, the brakes are good. I feel like I'm really happy with where it's at, performance-wise, and we're gonna make maybe a change in like October, but it's not what you guys think. It's probably not what anyone would even expect, but you guys have to stay tuned for that. So either way, that's my weekend. We were able to back up our 1189 with an 1191 and an 1199 and a bunch of 12-0 passes. So the car is good for high 12s or high 11s, low 12s, which I think for the combination I have, the gearing, the converter, still running pump gas, I think that says a lot. And I think that's it for that. I mean, the next project. The next thing I probably do here is probably at least put that big block up on the stand and start tearing it down now that I'm at that point. And then we're going to attack the Pontiac, which I have deemed Project Uphill, because even though it's been restored, there's a lot of skeletons in the closet that I know about, because part of the inexperience between my dad and I when we were doing that car is, I know what's there because of what I know now as far as being, working on cars professionally. When we were working on that car, when my dad got that car, I was just 10, and then I kind of took over when I was like 18 or 19, and I was still very green within the automotive industry, but that doesn't mean anything. Kind of going back to this weekend, I really stepped out of my element, and I did a bunch of carb tuning that I've never done before, switching jets and playing with stuff to get the car to run right. You have to break out of your comfort zone in order to gain knowledge, and with that Pontiac, my dad had never restored a car, and I had just started working on cars, so when I pretty much took over after my dad had gotten like 80% of the resto work done on the car, and I kind of started piecing it together, and there's some issues that need to be addressed, and in preparation for the big block and kind of what I have in mind. But I'll clue you guys into that, what I kind of have in mind once we get to that point. But from here, kind of done with the olds, but it doesn't mean we're not going to be doing stuff out here. The big block is going to be up next, and we're going to have something to tinker with. So guys, again, as always, thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Copper's Garage, Instagram, Copper Cutlass, and of course on YouTube, Copper Cutlass. If there's anything you guys like, share it, with your friends or whatever. I'm just do-it-yourselfer, learning and willing to share my experiences with you guys. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching.